Everyone, Impact Wrestling time.
I'm waving like an idiot right now. It's totally fine. Let's see. Test. Oh, can you say something really quick? Because I'm gonna try to test my own stream for a second too.
Testing.
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
So I could stream you.
Awesome.
How do I want to do this better? Oh, that's beautiful. I won't be able to see any of the chat conversation, but
And it says I'm live everywhere but Twitch. It says Twitch says title is invalid. But you're streaming.
I haven't flipped my streaming system on to actually stream anywhere yet, but I wasn't even sure if it would capture the sound from just a browser screen, and it totally is. So actually I set it to recognize the sound just from the screen. So it's playing off the screen, which is awesome because I didn't think it would do it.
I'm sorry. Like I said, this EC3 stuff, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says we're good to go on Facebook and YouTube, just not Twitch for me. But whatever.
Right.
It's fine. I'll work on it.
All right. I've updated that. I have to manually update my Twitch before I can use my streaming system to send to Twitch. So every time I do it, I have to go in first to Twitch and fix the settings. All right. So let's do. If I have done everything correctly, this will work without a hitch, which means, oh God, I've destroyed the internet. Again, I've destroyed the internet. Fantastic thing when it happens.
Changing the title worked.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I guess I had too long of a title, maybe. People are sleeping on Heath. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, they have for 10 years. Why is that a shock?
Oh, this one should be good.
Okay, hold on. Oh, because I closed it. Oh, I'm a dummy. Okay, hold on. I have to.
Oh, the three-way?
All right. I'm getting there now. Everybody who's watching, by the way, my name is Phil Stamper. I'm here with Entertainment Nerd. We're having a little bit of a time watching Impact Wrestling as we get ready for Bound for Glory. We're going to run down a little bit of what's going to happen for Bound for Glory as Impact is running down their preparation for Bound for Glory. So stay tuned, getting everything set up. Kind of semi-unexpected that I was like, let me play with my own stream and see if I can get this out tonight. So why not do it? It's called mayhem.
It seems like you're a busy man in this world, because after this, you have something else going on too, don't you?
I do. I will be on Beyond Ringside on their live podcast at beyondringside.com, which I may also try to capture and stream at the same time. What is this? So even though I'm logged in on and watching Impact, I got a pop-up notice that said, through October 31st, subscribe or gift a sub to collect permanent K-pop emotes.
K-pop?
Sing and dance with your fellow music fans. I guess I have to. K-pop.
Yeah.
K-pop.
You a BTS fan?
I couldn't remember the name. I was like, I know there's letters. I think there's a B. Like, yeah.
So is she the ref? What's going on here?
Oh, no, she is not the ref. I missed a little bit of the lead in just because I was setting everything up. So is she also in the match? Because there is a ref in the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep saying she like I don't know her name, but it's on the tip of my tongue. Aisha Edwards. There you go.
Bound for Glory. I have to look up the card really quick for Bound for Glory since we're going to talk about it.
Right, because I saw that we got like a lot wrong. I was so confident that we were going to know the lineup, but
right,
we're actually off.
There's a number of surprising things.
Like RV's not even with the company anymore, from what I heard.
Right. And both Rhino and Heath are two of the folks who are going to be in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, where the winner could choose any championship match of their choice. So this is a little bit of a prequel of what you could see this coming weekend in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 11 person contest that'll be taking place for that.
I wouldn't doubt all these people are in that. And I don't know if you heard about the stipulations that Scott D'Amore made, that if Rhino loses, doesn't win it, he's fired.
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yeah.
Which, that, to me, sets up some very interesting dynamics based on what's happening in the rest of wrestling right now.
Mm-hmm. And there's the same stipulation there for Heath as well, I heard. So
okay.
It's basically, but they're playing it off like Heath doesn't know that. Like, so like Rhino's keeping it from him. Like, hey, I'm putting my career on the line for you.
I have a secret.
Right. So I can see like Heath winning. It made this his way for Rhino to go out. And like, Heath is like a bittersweet moment where Heath's like, I won, but that my friend got fired, you know?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, this match is coming off more like just an all-out brawl, right? And I because I sort of jumped in as things were getting started. So there's Rhino, Heath Miller, Cousin Jake. Is that Hernandez?
Yeah.
Okay. Mrs. Edwards. Who else is in this match? I feel like there was 3 more bodies that just vanished.
I thought so too. So Cousin Jake, Rhino, Hernandez, Heath, and Edwards, I think.
Okay.
And I must just say that Saturday seems like a weird day for a pay-per-view. I'm sorry, but Sundays are pay-per-views.
I mean, yes, but in the same respect, they're not trying to do a head-to-head with anything WWE might pull out, and WWE has certainly reserved themselves for Sunday. What's interesting is they are doing well when they you can purchase their pay-per-views on Fight TV, I believe.
Yes,
right?
That's what I heard.
So that seems to be a market that seems to be pretty good. It is also tapping into the independent wrestling crowd too. I mean, I want to know the numbers for what Talking Shop-A-Mania got, because I mean, I have to say, like, I mean, yes, it was goofy as hell, but it was supposed to be goofy as hell. It was just so much fun. I mean, I am going to be totally purchasing Talking Shop-A-Mania too.
Damn, Rhino, I got to go and do that. He didn't mean to do it on purpose, but just took out Miss Edwards.
Oh, Hernandez with a big victory.
That's shocking.
So, and over Rhino, who could be, if he loses this coming weekend, could mean he's out of a job. Mm-hmm. So if he's out of a job, I mean, now is Hernandez like considered a top contender for the gauntlet? Will it come down to Hernandez and Rhino at the end of the gauntlet through everybody?
I can see that.
That's my call. That's my call. At the end of the gauntlet, Call Your Shot Gauntlet, it's going to be Hernandez and Rhino. And then, of course, Heath will get involved somehow.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering if we should predict that one because there's so many variables there.
Yeah.
To pick a winner.
I mean, so far it's AC Romero, Brian Myers, Havoc, Heath Hernandez, Larry D, Rhino, Taya Valkyrie, Tennille Dashwood, Tommy Dreamer, and more. It's literally just TBD.
To be determined.
Josh Matthews, why not?
He is a former champion.
Right.
Which, if you guys are just tuning in, we did say we won't be watching all Impact tonight, but we will, correct me if I'm wrong, Phil, we are planning to watch all Bound for Glory on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Never mind. Something just came in my brain, but I actually can't say it. I genuinely can't say it. So I have to bite it. So now they're running down the card that's taking place for, of course,
we call it. We call it.
We did call Eddie Edwards versus Ken Shamrock with Sami Callihan, but tonight you're going to see Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan. Then you have a 6-way scramble match for the X Division title between Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, Rohit Raju. And sorry, I'm hearing them in my headset at the same time. TJP, Jordan Grace, and Willie Mack.
That one was a curveball. We did not call that at all.
Right. We did call some kind of schmozziness with the tag team titles. I don't know if we specifically called what they were going to do, but now they have a 4-way tag team title match between Motor City Machine Guns, the Good Brothers, the North, and Ace Austin and Madman Fulton.
Which Madman Fulton and Ace Austin, we did not call that part of the equation.
I don't know. I feel like we did, though, because they were sort of at that framing element, so we felt like they were going to be involved in something. That for the Impact Knockouts Championship, it's Deonna Purrazzo versus Kylie Rae. And for the Impact World Championship, Eric Young defends his championship against Rich Swann. So 7 matches announced so far for Bound for Glory. More going to be added. I mean, that gauntlet match alone is going to take some time to get through with the already announced at least a minimum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 competitors. At the very least, 11. Oh, also, undisclosed location EC3 versus Moose. Is it a boner yard match? Because that's not copyrighted, right? Unless it's copyrighted by Talking Shop Mania, which will have its second revision in November.
And I like to think we're pleasing the wrestling gods now. That's why the volume is down, because we don't want to have interest music be heard.
Right, exactly. Because I've been screwed over by that one lately.
Let's say, talk to Phil about that one.
I mean, so on my own stream, I was part of the Level Up program on Facebook, and I went back in. I was like, wait a minute, people are saying they can't even add stars anymore. What's going on? And I go back in, and I was flagged for an independent wrestling video I showed in September. Had no idea, and they pulled my ability to get stars, but now I can't get them to even review the video. And I'm like, because I will say, when I've gotten violations before, all I do is go appeal, and I get the appeal. So I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm trying to get it to work. This whole like psychotic development of EC3 versus Moose, and certainly the reminders of who EC3 was, I think that is good. I like the fact that he is a contender. He isn't the guy you saw in the WWE. He really is a top tier contender in Impact Wrestling. Mm-hmm. And he is the guy in Impact Wrestling. And Moose was the guy in Impact Wrestling. So I like the fact they're having a dynamic. This whole EC3 is playing psychotic games with Moose is a little bit different. I get the Halloween theme. Okay, it's the right time of year to do that. He's not Randy Orton. He's not that mental manipulator in that kind of respect. He's not a Bray Wyatt. He's not bringing in the Carnival of Darkness. But he's like doing both of those things. And so to me, it's a little weird. And Moose is like terrified of it.
I know. Like this.
So is it all in Moose's head? Is it all just like Moose's imagination? All his critical, intrinsic review of himself and everything that's been going on in his world, like, is this just now expounding in his own brain and causing this to happen?
And this whole control your narrative thing, like, I'm not sure where that's going. Like on paper, like I'm like, oh, this could be a cool concept, but I don't understand the EC3 character right now.
Moose is calling himself a wrestling god. EC3 is just trying to manipulate reality. Wait a minute. So last week, I mean, they're replaying what they did last week, where EC3 goads Moose onto a bridge to fight him. and seemingly it works. And Moose then walks away with the TNA World Championship.
Beats him to a pole.
Right.
I'm so sad every time we see Jimmy Jacobs now.
Don't be sad. Why? He has a job.
I know, but
in wrestling.
I feel he could be used a lot more. I loved it when he was the manager of Congo Kong. I loved that. That was awesome. But now he's like an interviewer. So
one authority figure at a time in a storyline. Like right now, it's Scott D'Amore is involved with the whole EC3 and Moose thing, and he's involved in the whole like, hey Rhino, if you don't win, you're gonna lose your contract. So right now, it's Scott D'Amore's moment. We'll cycle back. We'll get Jimmy Jacobs in there again. I love Jimmy Jacobs. I love to see more of him.
Me too. I loved him as a wrestler.
Right. Every now and again, even though we're watching Melissa right now, kind of give. So in what would be commercial on Access TV, they do rundowns on Twitch with Melissa Santos, like going through everything. Melissa, of course, who's then married to Brian Cage. And so every now and again, I'm like, will Brian be in the reflection of the mirror, like randomly, because it's his house too?
An AEW invasion.
Right. Unintentional, like, oh, I'm sorry, came here to get something. Bye. Like,
I'm surprised they're sticking with Melissa Santos, because I don't know how many times you've watched on Twitch. She's constantly like forgetting to unmute her mic, and constantly like there's constant issues with her.
But at the same time, if you know what you're going to get, like, why you shouldn't be shocked,
right?
So right now, what she's doing is she's just plugging everything that the pay-per-view is available this Saturday on Fight TV, like we've mentioned. And she's running down what matches there are going to be, like we just did. So a lot of things are getting ready to take place this Saturday for Impact. A lot of things could be changing.
It's going to be a big night, I think.
So, with everything we're going to come back to an interview with Moose in just a moment. So all of this is happening. It's not like it's happening in some imagination land, and EC3 is a figment of Moose's imagination, and he's the only one who can see him, even though like they've popped up with projectors and lights on walls, and all of a sudden EC3's face is there.
Right. He's like Undertaker a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that Bray Wyatt. So part of me is like, are they going down this path of like a Boneyard match, like a Funhouse match? Probably a little bit more like what they did with Bray and Braun. So like there's a little bit more realism to they're having a fight in the middle of nowhere with some random elements of like, hey, where'd he go? So I'm curious on where they go with it. I'm sure it's going to be a brutal fight with whatever they do. But part of me is like, at this point, would you go EC3 or Moose?
I'm still sticking with Moose.
Okay. I'm kind of going EC3. Like they set up now this dynamic where EC3, who was the guy, just lost the title, but he's been the aggressor in this. But I almost feel like he needs to have that title back again. It would be a very quick turnaround since they just changed that title last week and changed it in a random brawl on a bridge in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So does this then just reset normality and reality for them?
I can see that. Well, also, I've been hearing that EC3 may be heading to ROH. Like right now, it's like a toss-up of where he's going to end up.
Right.
So if that's the case, maybe you give it to Moose because maybe you don't have EC3 for the long term.
Or it would be an allowance to let him go to both places. That he could work ROH and that he works for Impact, but they're going to let him also do some Ring of Honor tapings. I mean, who knows? And ROH is trying to come back with some tapings, but I don't know if they've established. We're going to look it up. I know they did the Pure tournament, kind of locked away, very just the talent themselves. But I'm trying to see if they have what they have upcoming.
Right.
And I don't Upcoming events. Here we go. And they really don't have any. Actually, they don't have anything listed as upcoming. Jimmy Jacobs now meeting with EC3 to talk a little bit about meeting with Moose to talk about EC3, about what he must be going through as he prepares for this undisclosed location match. You know, what happens if Moose goes to the wrong undisclosed location? Does he lose by forfeit?
Good point. You know, Jimmy Jacobs, the creator of the list. You know, he likes to plug that every time he gets a chance, so I'll figure I'll plug it too.
Right. Go figure. Go for it.
Every interview I read or hear from him, he's like, I created the list. I'm like, yeah, we know.
But to be fair, a lot of people are asking him, so did you create the list? Yeah, I created the list. Moose just did the shortest interview of all time. Is basically got pissed off at Jimmy Jacobs after being asked, you know, you don't look happy, man. Wait a minute. And now.
What the?
Random people are kidnapping Jimmy Jacobs.
In EC3 hoodies.
Oh, so I guess now we get to hear EC3's side of the story, right? Potentially. Jimmy Jacobs now being taken to an undisclosed location.
I don't know what's happening.
By retro, I mean EC3's goons.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Oh.
I love Crazy Steve.
There's a wedding? Did I miss a wedding? I am a few weeks behind.
Johnny Bravo and Rosemary.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Because then there was something about the resurrection of James Mitchell, and Rosemary was going to have a last chance to pull Havoc in to help her.
Right, because Rosemary wants James Mitchell to officiate the wedding.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. This is right now. I don't know about this.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, Caleb with a K. Yeah, Caleb with a K. And Tennille Dashwood. Yeah, Caleb with a K.
Connolly is underappreciated in wrestling, that's for sure.
Yeah. So why did Johnny Bravo delegate all the wedding responsibilities to everyone else when he's supposed to be putting it together, right?
Right.
Fala Ba was supposed to reserve the Gothic castle for the wedding reception or for the wedding rehearsal. Okay, let's go with it. I'm on board. I'm on board.
I was hoping you would be on board because you're on board with this Russell House stuff.
Now we have a promo from Deonna Purrazzo about defending her championship against Kylie Rae. And how prominent that championship is in the world of professional wrestling when it comes to being a premier women's athlete.
And I would agree. That the Knockouts Championship is probably one of the most important women's championships in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go out and say it. I think I would put it above the WWE women titles. Just because I think they put more stock in their division.
I can see that.
They have for longer. I mean, WWE has recently put stock in their division, but it has always been that case, you know, where the Knockouts division from day one has had importance. I felt.
I mean, Deanna's all serious and like, I'm gonna beat you up, and then Kylie Ray's all happy and athletic. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just sort of like stuck between which direction would you go with this.
This commercial break is brought to you by lasagna. I'm gonna go grab my lasagna real quick.
That sounds good. And then Kylie Ray is snapping and like getting more aggressive at the antics that Deonna Purrazzo has done. I feel like I'm leaning more and more towards Kylie Ray. Like, this could set her straight, or maybe if she loses, this will snap her straight, if that makes her sense. Psychologically unstable, or psychologically more stable.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
So watching that promo from Deonna made me feel like, so is this an opportunity where Kylie will win the championship and like prove her right, and like her aggressiveness paid off, and like she's clearing her head and moving forward to defend this championship? Or does losing the opportunity for the championship make her completely snap and go utterly crazy? I feel like that's the way they're teasing this almost.
I would love to see a heel Kylie Ray. Has she been heel at all in her career?
I don't know offhand. I would imagine at some point, at some place, she has been somewhere. I'm scanning really quick in her notes just to see. Oh
yeah, this is really well down promo for Bound for Glory. I don't know if you've seen it.
Not yet. I'll be very honest. Even though the commercial was with Eric Young, seeing him in the jail cell and like the gear he had on, I thought he was Bob Holly. I'm sorry. I really like Eric Young. That is not a knock on Bob Holly or Eric Young, but I just visually was like, oh, what's Bob Holly doing here? Not Bob Holly at all.
I love this Eric Young. I mean, very similar to what he was doing with Sanity, but it's fine.
But different at the same token, like this oddly clean-shaven, murderous monster. Split personality. Not letting the administration keep the man down.
I'm sorry, that scream got me. It was funny.
Yeah. I mean, very Killer Cross, that scream. Not gonna lie. I'll be honest, the whole visual presentation made me feel a little bit. This feels like Killer Cross.
A little bit, yeah. Well, I think maybe they're trying to like capitalize on what they couldn't do with him because he left.
Right. Huh.
Are you getting a Borat?
I'm getting a Borat commercial. It's so bad.
Did you hear they're being sued?
Yeah. I think by everybody at this point.
Yeah.
They were last time too.
For defamation or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
I feel they show way too much of these Impact Plus moments.
I mean, it's okay. It's a good way to just sell the fact that they do have content available on their app. Hey, go look at our app. I'm not overly opposed to it.
I mean, I'm okay with it too, but I feel like they show way too much of the footage is what I'm saying. Like, they practically show the whole finish where, like if WWE Network was advertising something, you get like a commercial, like something, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I feel like with this Impact Plus moments, you're passively, like if like a common person was tuning in, they're like, are they just showing like an old episode of Impact? You know what I mean? Because it lasts
right.
so long, I feel. instead of just like highlight clips.
Oh, ow. Foley falling awkwardly off a cage.
We haven't seen that before.
Right, that seems like a thing. I mean, and Impact Plus is trying to add more content to their app, and they've added events from different promotions onto it. So I'm interested in seeing what they add next, what could be next.
Have you worked for any of those promotions?
Well, Revolver. I'm very heavily involved with Wrestling Revolver, and we've appeared on the app before. I know Ethan Page's Alpha 1 is going to be featured on the app very soon.
Cool.
A weird dynamic, though, because in the middle of Impact, here's a heel Sami Callihan. Revolver, it's a very face Sami Callihan, and I'm making fun of a very face Sami Callihan. So I'm dressed like him, but in Impact, he's hated. So it's like, why is Phil like? Because it was Scott D'Amore and Josh Matthews on commentary going, "I'm disguised enough where you can't see my face, but I'm dressed like Sami," and so they're like, "Is that Sam?" No, Sammy's not been that fat. I was like, I hate you.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, man. And then I'm ragging on Sami, and Josh is like, Josh doesn't know what to do because Sami is heel in Impact.
Oh, that was for when it was cross promotion.
Yeah. And they used it as a lead-in to, well, they were already in the feud with Sami and Tessa, but then they used it as an opportunity to have, like, it was Sami versus Tessa in a street fight, and Brian Cage comes in the end and gets involved in the fight as well.
Oh, cool. I love Rosemary. I've always been a fan of Rosemary.
Same here. I was trying to see really quick if she's been announced for any of the matches for this weekend, and not so far. So far, no. But here comes Havoc. Havoc versus Rosemary taking place on Impact right now. Havoc will be in that Call Your Shot gauntlet match. Havoc has seen a lot of intergender matches in her time. And so she's one of the 11 participants announced for the Call Your Shot gauntlet.
One thing I appreciate, and thank you, Phil, I appreciate having a wrestling mind on this too, because some stuff you give insight on, I'm just like, didn't think about it that way.
But thank you. He says, questioning.
It's good. It's good. Even though you made me buy this super expensive TV, it's fine.
Made as a business expense. Business expense.
Havoc has a connection to Sami Callihan.
Yeah, she does. Oh, I almost started to go into commentary mode to call the action that I'm watching, and I'm like, I don't know. Well, actually, I do know Impact does allow a co-stream where they will take out the voice track and you can do commentary over it. I've yet to try it. I've wanted to do that before. I haven't played with it enough to do it. So
yeah, exactly. I was going to bring that up to you, and I was thinking sometime in the future we should try that. That'd be fun. You definitely be the play-by-play guy because, obviously.
Well, and so much anymore when you listen to commentary, it becomes both of both. Like both guys are calling moves. Both guys are both people. I shouldn't say necessarily all guys, but both people are calling moves. Both people are calling the stories. So it's a little bit of just you're a commentator. You're doing everything about the match. And kind of for the reason you said, like, people bring different perspectives on whatever they're watching. So if you have two people together, they're going to share different perspectives from their own experience.
Right.
And there are enough tricks I've learned in my time doing commentary when I'm like, I don't know what to call that. Wow, that looked amazing. Oh, did you see how bad that was? Or, wow. Oh, she just nailed her with that. Like, you say the cheesiest lines just to like get past the moment.
Or something so mundane like a sleeper hold that you could be like, she got so yanked in tight there,
Oh, oh! I just realized something stupid. That's okay. It's my fault. I did something goofy. Let's do. I don't. Yeah.
Did you break your stream?
No, I didn't break my stream. I forgot to add. I had to create a new window for us to do this.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't put my chat windows back over top of it. So I'm just trying to restore that functionality. Somebody's making fun of me already. Go figure.
Yeah, somebody making fun of you.
I will break your stream and break your face. You know it's a good one when you start off with that.
So right now we have a situation to see who can out crazy the crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm picking up too.
Once again, it's Rosemary versus Havoc, and Rosemary wins.
But I missed the stip. Like it's something. Hold on. Okay, so that was the stipulation. So now that Rosemary beat Jessica Havoc tonight on Impact, Havoc has to help her bring back Father James Mitchell at Bound for Glory. Because why not?
Because it's wrestling.
Right? That's how it's going to work now, right? Who cares if he was psychotic and she's psychotic and they were psychotic together?
Like, just giving that look. Like, don't make me do
it. Everything's fine. What could possibly go? Oh crap!
Hey, while you're in there, can you bring back Judas Macias?
Yeah. All right, there we go. Sorry. All right. Like, wow, I can increase my font size. things I learn to play with every day. Havoc is not pleased with the fact that now she has to help bring Father Mitchell back. But how is that going to impact, pun intended, Havoc's run in the main event? Well, I don't know if that's the main event match, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, if she's otherwise occupied.
Right now we got the Machine Guns and the Good Brothers giving the breakdown on that little thing.
Right. Ace and Madman. The North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander. I said Jason Alexander. There's a different tag team for you. It'd be North by Northwest.
North by Northwest.
Or North by Northeast, sorry, right? That's where Jason Alexander's from, I think.
Northeast. North by Northeast.
Right. Yeah.
But Northwest sounds better. Right on the airlines. Did you ever think we lived in a world where the Machine Guns would be back in Impact Wrestling?
I could see it. Like I could definitely see it. I think they took the opportunity to take some time away that they needed to take. But there's a lot of interest on them around Impact. I don't think current day Ring of Honor is the place for them. I think they needed to be on a bigger stage for some reason. I don't know why. Neither one ever really got that full-fledged WWE opportunity to go up. So hey, this is where you land.
Wasn't Shelly part of the Classic, the Cruiserweight Classic?
Was he?
I thought so.
I'll have to look. I honestly don't remember.
I thought he spent some time in NXT for like a hot minute. I thought. I could be wrong.
My brain's like, now I have to remember because I'm totally not remembering at all. Oh, he was one of the participants in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Yeah.
And he won in the first round of the tournament. They lost to James Drake and Zach Gibson, and that was it.
The Machine Guns were? Was he teaming with?
No, it was him and Kushida.
Oh, okay. I kind of saw like the Machine Guns could be a possibility. Like once Chris Sabin became a producer. I mean, he had one shoe in the door there.
Right. And now silence. Oh, there we go. Commercial. Crazy Eric Young commercial again. Or Bob Holly, depending on your view.
Yeah. Let's say we're not getting any more Melissa Santos. Did her computer break?
It just took a moment.
I was surprised she didn't fall. Maybe there was no interest. Fall Cage to AEW.
I mean, right now I believe she's under contract, and that's why she didn't. I mean, there's the conversation around Renee Young, and she's going to go with Moxley over to AEW, and she's like, my no compete clause is for a year. So
a year?
Yeah, I think that's what she said. That it was either 9 months or a year, something very long. So she's not going to be there, and she has other interests outside of the world of professional wrestling. That she could be a legitimate commentator for ESPN. She can be a host for any number of shows. So
yeah, I don't doubt she has offers already.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the moment her no compete clause is up, you're probably going to see her over there at least once, just with Moxley. I'm trying to see what I can find, and I just can't find her. I do see that she made the statement that yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can find the length of time specifically. But I'm not quite finding it. Anyway, that the duration might be in or around a year. Well, the large majority supporting the AEW theory, some believe she would be better working at ESPN or another large sports channel. And I'm just trying to scan through. But of course, I do think she would appear at some way by the relationship she has with Mox.
Yeah, no doubt. Are you adjusting your thoughts here now that it's like Ace and Fulton instead of who originally thought?
Well, I mean, Ace and Fulton are my boys of this crowd. They're probably they are the two I'm the closest to personally. So I may have a little bit of a vetted interest in that's who I want to win. But at the same time, my mind is still set that Ace is trying to position himself for a higher opportunity. Madman Fulton is trying to position himself for a higher opportunity.
Yeah.
Would that be it? And Impact has done stuff like this before, where they put it on that team, that person, or they put the win on the person that you least expect, because they really want to keep you sort of in that frame of guessing. Right. And they've done so good with this match, because really any one of these four teams could be the winner. I'm leaning more towards it's going to be the Good Brothers or the North. Good Brothers are about to have their pay-per-view. They're about to have Talking Shop Mania 2. Imagine the hype around that if they can also be like, oh, look, we have the tag titles. I can just see the element that could add into the North, that could, they now get a win over the Motor City Machine Guns and the Good Brothers all at once. That's the bragging rights that they may need to further. Because look at Ethan Page. Literally, he is all ego Ethan Page.
That he is.
Let me take this and brag about it more. Seems like all ego Ethan Page.
You think so? You think the Machine Guns may drop it? See,
Yes, I'm going to say yes.
Because remember, I was saying I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're keeping them.
I'm saying they're going to drop it and it's going to go to the North. Sorry, Ace and Fulton, but but I think it's going to go to the North.
I can see if they do drop them. I think it's going to be the North or the Good Brothers for the reasons you mentioned. I can see.
Go ahead.
I can see why you want to give it to the Good Brothers for the promotional part of it.
Right. At that same respect, they don't necessarily need it. Like,
right.
They have enough riding to move forward.
No, I'm saying Impact needs it.
Oh, Impact needs it. Sorry, I thought you were saying they need it.
I'm saying like, Impact will get a rub from it. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay, so next week is on Impact is Talking Shop Mania Full Keg. I'm just commercial for Bad to Jad promo.
Oh my goodness.
Is that?
I recognize him. Who is that?
I can't remember his name offhand. I feel so bad.
I know who that is.
Is that Matt Sells? That's Scott D'Amore and Heath. Oh, the return of the other Nature Boy, Paul Lee.
He was with Muhammad Hassan, right? Is that who that is?
I don't think so.
No. You know who I'm thinking of.
Oh, wait a minute! But now we're getting the response promo from Kylie Ray to Deonna Purrazzo.
This night is heavy on the promos,
right?
But you are in the last episode before Bound for Glory, so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Steels? Have you seen much of her? Do you know
Steels?
Her? Tisha Steels or comment session people. She was seen fighting in the promo with her. She's hanging her out with Hogan.
I don't.
Tasha Steels.
I'm not sure. No, I'm gonna just say no. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm sorry.
It's like I don't know who she is, so no.
Right. So no? Question mark, Phil?
She's hanging out with Kiera Hogan, whoever her name is. Her last name's
Steele. Oh. Stream froze.
Am I there? Are you good?
Yeah, you're there.
Cool.
The Impact stream is freezing for me.
Yeah, I hear audio, but
all right, I'm gonna close it because I think we're in sort of our last 10 minutes. So do you want to run down the card and then go through our predictions?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, so we've talked a little bit about the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. AC Romero, Brian Myers, Havoc, Heath Hernandez, Larry D, Rhino, Taya Valkyrie, Daniil Dashwood, Tommy Dreamer, and TBD. So this could be at least an 11-person matchup. If you had to call your shot for the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, what would you say right now?
Keith.
Ooh, I like that pick. I'm gonna go Hernandez, but I think Heath's gonna cause Rhino to lose.
Okay.
So I think Heath will definitely be involved. In singles competition, tonight on Impact they're going to be showing Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan. But now we're going to be seeing on Saturday Eddie Edwards versus Ken Shamrock with Sami Callihan in his corner.
Ken.
I think it's a good bet. I'm going to have to go with Ken too. I think the numbers game, but I think there'll be something wonky. I think Sami may help cause the victory, and Ken's not going to like that Sami helped cause the victory. EC3 versus Moose. We've talked about this a little bit. I am thinking EC3.
I'm going to go with Moose.
Okay. In a 6-way intergender scramble match for the X Division title, we have Rohit, Chris Bay, Jordan Grace, TJ Perkins, Trey Miguel, and Willie Mack.
This one's hard. This one's very, very hard.
Yes, it is.
Do you give it to Jordan Grace just for the shock factor?
I don't know. So a part of me is like, yeah, that'd be an interesting move to do. At the same time, it would be like, oh, you're just doing what you did. You're just Tessa. You're just repeating this opportunity. I don't know. Part of me is like, give it to Willie Mack.
I can see that.
I mean, I like Trey. I think Trey is right there to also possibly get it. But I think where they're talking about and the way they're framing this match, I think it's going to end up on Willie.
I am going to go out on a limb and say Raheem.
Okay.
And that somehow he manages to keep it.
Makes sense. In a 4-way for the tag team championship, it's the Motor City Machine Guns, the Good Brothers, the North, and Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. We just talked about this a little bit. I'm going the North. I'm totally going the North. I've bought in. I think this will be bragging rights for Mr. All Ego. I'm going the North.
I think Motor City Machine Guns are going to retain.
Deonna Purrazzo, the current Impact Knockouts champion, defends her championship against Kylie Rae.
Kylie Rae, you need a feel-good moment.
You know what? I was right there. I'm already right there. I think this makes sense. It makes total sense. And then for the Impact World Championship, we have Rich Swann versus the current champion, Eric Young.
This is why I say you need a feel-good moment with the Knockouts Championship, because I think Eric Young is going to retain.
My brain keeps leaning in that direction. At first, I was like, it's going to be Rich. It's going to be Rich. It's going to be... No. I just... The way this is framed out, this is Eric Young's moment, and he's going to ride this moment for as long as he can. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be Eric Young.
Yes. So we disagree on all but 3?
I think so. I think we agreed Eric Young. We agreed Kylie Rae. Did we both agree Ken Shamrock?
Yes.
Okay. So then we disagreed about everything else.
And we're allowed to change before game time, right?
Right. Sure. Why not?
Call an audible in the middle of the pay-per-view.
I like it. I like it
too. And by the way, you tuned off, but you were right. They abducted Jimmy Jacobs to take him to EC3, and they're talking right now.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, it's goons in black hoodies with EC3's logo on it, throwing them in a van when they're promoting an undisclosed location match. It kind of wrote itself on that one.
They took him to the undisclosed location. Basically. Right. This make him the ref while you're at it, by the way. He's already there.
Oh, wow. That'd be an interesting dynamic. But then it's the, like, hang you by your feet and cut you open Jimmy Jacobs in the white suit. Jimmy, out of all of them, it's Jimmy who snaps. And we see the return of the fall Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah. Bring out the princess, right?
Right. Oh, that's perfect. That'd be perfect. This is the weekend before Halloween. It's right. the rise of the zombie princess Jimmy Jacobs.
Exactly. I like it.
I'm there for it.
It books itself. But I know you have another obligation, so I'll let you get ready for that. Once again, you can catch Phil pretty soon, actually, right around the corner, in another podcast. And you can catch us here on Saturday, where we'll cover the whole pay-per-view. We'll be here from beginning to end, and that should be a fun time. But this was fun, Phil. Enjoyed it.
Sounds good to me. You have a good one, sir.
You too.
All right.